Hi everyone, Concy here from atop Serenity Hill, and it is time for our June intention card art journal page. I have been doing this every month for 2024, so you can find the playlist below or right there if you would like to follow along or go back and see what we've been doing for this year. If you just found me, then you can get this printable below and start in whatever month you find me. It actually doesn't matter what year you find me. Just jump in and use the printable for yourself to make. You can either just print them out and use them as inspiration for yourself or an intention for the month if you want, or you can do what I'm doing, which is create an art journal page around it. So the one I'm using obviously is for June, and the word is Carefree for this month. And I have been using my cardboard journal for doing this. And if you would like to make your own cardboard journal, the link for that is below, or if I remember to put it right there, so that you can make your own. And if you've been following along, you might notice that I changed the spine. I had washi tape on the spine and it started to come off. So this is a version of duct tape. It's not duct tape as in the brand, but is a version of like artist tape that looks like duct tape. So for yourself, if you're looking for another alternative to put on the spine. So let's open, we'll start again. I always like to do a little flip through. So I started in January. So you'll notice that in addition to the card, I always add the card in. I reiterate the word. So the word for January is rest, and I reiterate it for each month. And then I ended up with a bit of a green theme going. Even with May, I had lots of green going. So we'll see what happens for June. And as I like to do, I also like to show you what inspiration pieces I pull, because I think it helps to see how an artist thinks through what they're pulling from their stash. So I looked at this and I could still remember what this stencil was. So I pulled out the stencil. So I have that, and I also have the stamp. Obviously, I made these, so I have them. So I pulled out the same stamp, so I have that. Then I went with the idea of Carefree, and I pulled out two more stencils, one that's similar to this, like a mandala shape, but more flower. And then I also pulled out a sun stencil, trying to like bring myself inspiration from the word itself, Carefree. Okay, and then in addition to this stamp, there's a tiny little stamp here, which is here. So I pulled that out just in case. And then working again with the word Carefree, I did a rainbow, a dragonfly, and a feather. There is a feather, if you can see right there. It was a feather stencil. So I didn't want to pull that out, but I thought maybe the feather itself. And then I have stamp pads, a bunch of different colored stamp pads to use with that. To use with this, most likely watercolor, but maybe acrylic paint if I feel so called. I don't know. So then I also wanted to grab some collage elements, because most of these have started with some kind of collage on them. They're very collagey. So I'm kind of continuing that theme. And so I was pulling some stuff I've been working with recently, which was, I made these stickers. One for something I call the Elements of Delight. They're smaller versions. I'll link that below. It's a snail mail packet that I sell every month with all different kinds of collage ephemera in it. So these are stickers that are floral stamps. So I love the idea of, let's pull this back out, the yellow and Carefree, and I had this sunflower. So I have that. The brown paper bag kind of spoke to, being carefree lunch, taking your lunch to school, or out of school. It just spoke to me, so I pulled it. There you have it. Sometimes I just like it because of the color. I read a ton, so being carefree to me is also about reading. So I had some book paper sitting on my table. These colors, even though this one has a metallic sheen to it, are the same colors in this, so that popped in. And then some printables that have been in my community recently that I've offered to people. This being the bookmarks. These are the bookmarks that I painted in last week's video that I offered as a printable as a challenge on my email list. So if you're not on my email list, go below and join that. And if you want to watch the video, it's here and also below. Everything I always talk about in the videos are always linked below. So I printed these because, again, flowers, Carefree, it went with the theme, also went with the colors. And then this was from a class I recently taught, a printable from a class. And so these went with the colors. I've got the yellow, I've got the mandala, which kind of mimics this mandala. So what if I use this in the page? I don't know. We're going to see what happens. So that's what I have to work with. Not a ton this time. I also have my letters. The beginning, Carefree, I obviously need the R and the E 2 more times. So I have that set up to go to add the word Carefree somewhere in the page. So I'm going to start. I'm going to play. See what happens. I'll meet you back here and we'll discuss if anything came up, if anything weird happened, if anything fun happened, where my curiosity went, and I hope that you will play along. If you are new here, please subscribe. I would love it if you followed along on this creative journey, if you joined me, if I could do what I can to inspire you to have your own creative practice. Give this a thumbs up. That always helps other people find it. And I would love to know below if you are following along with this intention card journal or if you just found something inspiring in the video. I'd love to know below. All right, let's play. Okay, I'm going to describe this page as wild, is a little wild, which kind of goes along with the theme of carefree, wild, summer, things are growing, crazy. It's how I like gardens to look, so it feels very me. I love the sparkle of the gold. It just feels like, you know, that's your sunshine that's happening. And some wildflowers, and, you know, this has no meaning other than I just like the way it looks. The touch of doodling, which, if you think about it, does actually pull the doodling from this side. But yeah, a lot different from May. A bit wild, a little carefree. So I hope you enjoyed it. Again, please subscribe if you're new here. I would love to have you along on this creative journey with me. And all the links that I mentioned will be below in the description. And I look forward to seeing you again in another video. Thanks so much, friends.